Who do you need to release before bitterness and anger robs you of the freedom that Christ has already purchased for you? Hi, family. Welcome back to this series, The Church, and it's so lovely to be back again with you. We preach the cross, but we refuse to carry it. I've dove right into it, no wasting time. This one is very, very hot, but also extremely relatable and very close to my heart because the Lord is surely testing me. So we preach the cross, but we refuse to carry it. We sing about grace, but we struggle to extend it. We shout, Amen, hallelujah. Sometimes we even cry tears with minyira coming from the nose when God forgives us. But we grow very silent when He asks us to forgive others. Which brings me to a very solid truth. The church, as we speak right now, in this, our 2025, is not divided by doctrine as much as it is divided by unforgiveness. Families are torn, ministries are broken, communities are fractured, not because God stopped working or isn't working, but because we, you and I, stopped forgiving. Welcome to the Church and Forgiveness. Segment 1. I chose to call the double standard of grace. Think about it. The double standard of grace. How? We love the concept of forgiveness, the gospel truth and principle of forgiveness when we are the receivers. When someone says, I forgive you, sometimes you've even apologized, sometimes you've not. You're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for forgiving me. Ha! But when God convicts us to be the givers of forgiveness, what do? We would rather hold grudges. We would rather nurse and fester wounds. We would rather replay those betrayals 1,000 times in our heads than actually pick up that phone, send that message, make that call, have that conversation where you look this person in the eye and say, you know what, I forgive you. We forget Colossians 3:13 that says, forgive as the Lord forgave you. You see how it is two-way? Aneno, do you see how it is two-way? Segment 2, the weight that we carry. The weight that I have carried. The weight that I sometimes put down, but then I pick right back up again. I don't know if you can relate. You're like, I forgave, I moved on. Kumbe nothing. You're lying to yourself. You actually need to forgive. Why? Because unforgiveness, it doesn't chain the offender. Unforgiveness does not keep that other person who did you wrong in bondage. It chains you, the offended. It sounds very unfair, doesn't it? I mean, they did wrong. They're the ones who did this. So I will not forgive them until they apologize. You're killing your own self. You're killing your own self. And this is how we have churches that are full of bitter leaders and full of offended sheep. So together we are just one bitter congregation walking around faking smells at one another. But you're holding a good grudge against that person. We have marriages that are collapsing, friendships are dying, ministries are split, all because one, we would rather hold onto that pain than release mercy. And science backs it up. Studies show that unforgiveness is linked to higher levels of stress, anxiety, heart disease. Your body is keeping score. Even when your soul refuses to let go, your body will let you know you're walking in deep unforgiveness. Why? Because worry will be your close companion. Anxiety will be like a shadow. Like you're just there, faking your way through life, just fwa. And it's okay. I understand. I relate with the struggle to unforgive, or rather not to forgive. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like when the church wounds you, when your friends wound you. And that is segment 3. When the church has offended you, has wounded you. Because let's be real, like I said in the past episodes, some of the deepest wounds that we are carrying around as followers of Christ, they did not come from the world. Those wounds started from the pews, the pulpits, the people who said, I am your brother, I am your sister, I will walk this journey with you, I will be there for you. And immediately at the first sign of your need for their direction, their loyalty, their dependability, what did they do? They stabbed you in the back, like the world would say. They turned out to indeed not be your brother and your sister. And here is the danger. You see that church hurt, that church offense, when it is left untreated, guess what it grows into? Church hate. As simple as that. Church hurt equals church hate. We end up leaving God because of people. You've probably had that thought. You've had people say it. They hate God because of us. They have a negative perception of God, of Jesus, because of us. So they end up leaving God because of us. And yet we need to remember that Judas, this young man who had done ministry, close and personal ministry with Jesus, betrayed him. But Jesus still went to the cross for him. In spite of that betrayal, Jesus laid down his life for him. And in Luke 23:34, that is why he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Sometimes these people, they don't know what they're doing. They're being used. So let's look at how unforgiveness plays into the counterfeit of reconciliation. The counterfeit of reconciliation, which arises from where? From fake peace. Have you had that conversation? Or rather failed to have that conversation of forgiveness. We're like, oh, me, I forgive you. Me, I'm okay. Me, there is nothing wrong. Even when given the space to have the conversation, you'll be like, me, I'm okay. So you smile on Sunday, but all through the week, you're walking around in bitterness and unforgiveness towards that same person who you looked at and said, I am okay. You walk around on Sunday giving out holy hugs with a hard heart, with a cold heart, saying, as we people, we can't see beyond, but God is seeing you. God is perceiving you. Choir members, on Sunday, you sing in harmony. Ministries, on Sunday, you're working in harmony. But you live in hostility. You can never talk to that brother off of the stage because you're so offended at them. But you smile at each other on stage, lift up hands, cry, worship, forgive. And this is where the consolation is. Forgiveness is not pretending it didn't hurt. It did hurt. But forgiveness is choosing not to let that hurt hold power over you. The scandal of the cross, yeah? You realize that the cross was scandalous back then. The Pharisees and the naysayers found it scandalous because it forgave the unforgivable. That is what was so wrong with Jesus, is that he forgave the unforgivable. He associated with the unassociable. Is that a word? Let's take it that it's a word. The murderers, the liars, the thieves. He didn't wait for apologies, by the way. He offered pardon. So if the church is preaching a cross that forgives all, Is our pain where we are going to draw the line? Do you get the point? If Jesus forgave all, and we are called to forgive as he did, is your personal pain and your personal emotions going to be where you're like, Jesus, tukome wano, I will do it all, but this one I will not do? No, we have been called to be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ forgave. As I preach this, you guys, I'm being convicted. I wish I could tell you. I hope you are too. And this forgiveness is not forgetfulness as we come to the end. It is not. Absolutely not. Forgiving one does not mean you stay in abuse. Forgiving doesn't mean you abide in that toxic relationship. Forgiving doesn't mean trusting someone who is unrepentant. It means releasing your heart from the bitterness from the prison of bitterness. That's why you've had people say forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. Forgiveness is freedom for you, peace of mind for you. So, church, what then is the way forward? And you might be thinking, oh, Sandra, easier said than done. No. I know. Like I said, all these episodes are very close and personal to my heart. So the way forward is step 1. Remember how much you've been forgiven. And you guys, this is a lesson that God has just taught me this year and is continuing to teach me. Remember how much you've been forgiven. There's been instances in my relationship where people should have just walked away from me, but they forgave me and they gave me grace. So when they offend me, as painful as it is, I look back to those moments and I'm like, they extended me grace. Perhaps I should do the same. Step 2, pray for the courage to release those who hurt you. Like I said, it's not easy. You will need God, and you will need to be real to God about your heart and your pain, because only then can He truly work through it. Only then can He help you grow through that season of pain. Pray for courage to release them and let them go. Step 3, rebuild with wisdom where trust has been broken. Rebuild with wisdom where trust has been broken. Because some relationships, when they end, sometimes it is wiser for you not to go back. But there are relationships that you must not lose. So number 1, know the difference between those two relationships and where you need to rebuild. Pray for trust. Pray for discernment. Ask God to lead you. This forgiveness, it is warfare. Forgiveness breaks generational cycles. It heals families. It restores the testimony and the unity of the church. So if we cannot forgive, then we have misunderstood the very gospel we preach. The world doesn't need sermons but grace. It needs to see it lived out in us. So this is the question I leave with you. Who do you need to release before bitterness and anger robs you of the freedom that Christ has already purchased for you? See you in the next one.